Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. I'm going to talk for a little bit and then I'm going to do an unbagging instead of an unboxing. I already did the unboxing of a Woods Walker stove. I'm going to do an unbagging. I got it bagged up in the bag, that carrying bag, and I'm going to set it up once more time just so I'm going to. They say make hay while the sun shines. Jesus said, Messiah said, work while it's yet day. The night cometh when no man can work. And we all have a very limited amount of time. And it hit me more and more that every single one of you listening to me right now have had the same amount of 8 minutes in every day, and every week, and every month, and every year that I've had. And you've done nothing with that time. A lot of you have just squandered it. Watching big screen TV and doing whatever it is you do. Go to movies, play computer games, play sports, whatever you do. Watch sports. Most people in this country have wasted an inordinate, a huge amount of time. A huge amount of their lives. I spent my life suffering and getting ready for this point in time. So I'm not going to have a lot of pity. The other day we were sitting in the cabin and Bill said, I'm not going to have any sympathy for anyone that freezes to death this winter. Because while everybody else has been playing around doing stuff, he and I have been out splitting wood, gathering wood, cutting wood, stocking up firewood, for the winter. And then people want to come by, can I get some firewood? Yeah, $100 a rick, $300 a cord. Pay me now, pay me later, So anyway, I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head here, but everyone has had the same amount of time. Some people have been productive with their time. Some people have been extremely productive with their time. I won't name any names. But some people have been very unproductive with their time. I won't name any names there either. I'd like to. People that have squandered their lives just worrying about things that they have no business worrying about. Sad, very sad. But anyway, I can see several things coming down on me. I want to get an ice shelter tent. So if you want to help me out, I'd like to get this thing set up in a tent, this stove set up in a tent, ready to use it to heat. I also want to build an in-ground rocket stove. I've built two of them before. They work. Both of them work perfectly, exactly as I envisioned them. And I've got parts for one here. Most of the parts. I want to build an intake port for the fuel out of fire brick because I don't have enough pipe for that. Normally I use a elbow, a T, and then some straight pipe, and then another elbow or T, either one, and some straight pipe to go vertical. So you go down, you go over, you have a cooking port, a fuel port, and then a cooking port. So it's like a Dakota fire hole on steroids. It's a Dakota fire hole with an actual chimney to make it into a rocket stove. The Dakota fire hole could be a rocket stove, but it is not a rocket stove because it doesn't have any thermal mass on the exhaust port to warm it up and to create draw. So mine does that, and I want to do a kit, like a 3-inch diameter kit, a 4-inch diameter kit, and sell those, or at least tell you how to make them, where to buy the parts at. So idea is that you can sleep on warm ground. You don't have to ever be cold. I asked for help around here, and I got very, very nasty, evil responses, selfish and stupid and evil responses from 2 people. So I talked to a third person, and I've talked about 5 people, but I haven't gotten any help, any offer of help, no, nothing. So I'm going to try to do it myself, but I can't really do a lot of the work myself. A lot of work, so. Anyway, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so. I can see what I got to do is some videos on ice shelter tents. Let me get this through your head, beat it into your head. An ice shelter tent is insulated, it's heavily insulated, because these guys are out there fishing with the lake frozen 2 foot thick, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot thick of ice, right? It's about 20 to 30 to maybe 50 below zero out. They like to go out in that weather. It's called fun to them. You can't imagine. Some of you people can't even imagine it, but it's called fun. They enjoy it. Look up Shug Murray. He goes out, personal best, 40 below zero, in a hammock, 2 nights in a row in a hammock. He said my finger got a little bit frostbit, my nose got a little bit frostbit, but hey, who cares? It was fun. That's fun to them. It's entertaining. So my point is that an ice fishing shelter tent is insulated very well to keep it warm in the winter. You can put a wood stove in it and cook your fish as you're catching them. But the point of this is that what I'm trying to get across is that in the summertime, they're also insulated for heat, against heat. In the winter, they're insulated against warmth, to keep them warm on the inside, the heat on the inside and the cold on the outside. Well, just reverse that in the summertime. You got keep the heat outside and keep the cold inside. So you put an air conditioning unit in it. And Steve, I think it's Steve Wallace. I'll put his link down below because I mentioned it twice already. did that. He took an ice fishing tent, put his little air conditioner in it, and the last guy that came here had a, I kid you not, on the back of the car, it could have fallen out when he opened the hatch, hatch van or whatever it was, a View, Saturn View, had a honest to God, no kidding, Toshiba air conditioner unit there. And he said he'd be willing to live in a tent. Well, one night he's gone, so much for that idea of tent. I was looking forward to getting an ice fishing tent, putting the in-ground rocket stove in it with him, putting this in there, and having it be warm in the winter and then cool in the summer. So, man proposes, God disposes. God disposed of him pretty quick. I don't know. One night, that was it. Gone. Boom. Very sad. I'm very, very grieved by that. I'd like you to pray for him. His name's Dave. I won't name any other people I want you to pray for, but, between a rock and a hard place right now. I don't know. And why do I keep doing this? I don't know. Every once in a while I get a positive comment. That's really wonderful. I get people saying there's a whole army of us out here listening. Well, it'd be nice if one of them army out there listening would come and help me. But every offer I get to help, they show up and then they start taking instead of giving. So, very bad. Very evil. I'm going to do an unboxing, an unbagging here. See how long it takes me to get this set up. Okay, here we go. We are at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Woods Walker's titanium stove. Okay, warming rack, stone and wood drying rack. From there on, I just go flip. I gotta get it out of the thing. Flip, 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 flip. Come on. All right. One guy said first thing you know is to turn it over. I did figure out you got to get the legs, you got to get the sides folded up before you can get the legs back in, but you can get the legs out while it's like that. That makes it a little bit harder. I don't know. I think I'd rather do it the other way. All right. So let's go. Come on. I'll do it from the end here. You have to be able to see these to get them in there. Just a hint. Got to use the right ones. Okay. Now the top. I don't know if this is made. I'm going to try it. I got the door toward me. Could you put this on backwards? I don't think so. I would think you should not be able to. No, it looks like you can. Okay. I'm not going to do that because the stovepipe hole has to go to the back of the stove, not the front. I've got the front toward me. Click. 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 And close that. Rotate, come on. Gotta be outside of the thing. Okay, there we go. I got a pillow up here to set it on. Trying not to run anything. That's about it. I'm not going to open the pipe and all that stuff. Then you just flip this out. The little bottom drops into place. Stabilizes it. And this thing goes on the side opposite the viewport. So it's not ambidextrous. Stable. There you go. Now, like I said, I'm not messing with the stovepipe on this go around. I just wanted to get this set up, and I did get it back in the bag, but you're not going to get the pipe in there unless you take the pipe out of that tube, cardboard tube. Looks like there's a strap that fits it that is designed to take that But without seeing how it's done, I'm not going to mess with it because it's not worth it to me. So I'll say again, titanium is very light. It's one of the lightest metal, probably the lightest metal in the world. Magnesium's lighter, but guess what? Magnesium ignites. Aluminum's light, but aluminum will light up too. It'll warp. It's not good. It's supposed to poison you for cooking. Don't use it. So there might be a little bit of oil there. I don't know. So what I did is you burn it off first. I got to get this label off of here. Maybe they figure you burned it off. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. And what does the label say, class? The label says, please burn at home before first trip. That burns forms a stovepipe into place, into shape, and it burns off any excess greases and oils. Well, I don't think there's going to be much grease and oil on a titanium stove, but hey, such is life. So anyway, there you go. I would suggest anybody that is into prepping or, surviving what's coming, get yourself a stove of some kind, a portable camp stove. And this is one of the best I've seen as far as a small. It's not very big. It's small. It's not designed to heat a big tent through the night. It'll heat a tent. And one guy did a really good video on a small stove isn't necessarily bad. A big stove isn't necessarily good. Depends on what you're doing with it. If you want to try to heat a big tent, you might want to get a big stove. But the thing with the little stove is, it's lighter. You got to put wood in about 10 times more often. So small stoves are not the best thing. Now over there is my outfitter. That thing will run 30 hours. I can load that thing up and it'll run 30 hours. Come back, put some wood in, whoosh, start a fire again. In the last 2 winters I was in Kansas, I only started 2 fires. One the first winter and one the second winter. So it'll hold a lot of heat for a long time. You gotta know what you're doing with them, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this thing down. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Then just come up vertically. Come up. Come up, come up, come up. And then the legs fold up. And the legs, one of them has to go in first. One goes outside the other one a little bit. The left one goes up first and then the right one. So, and there it's all ready to pack back in there. Little thing for the glass deal there. Now I'll put this over that to protect the window and then just zip her up. And there you have it. Class. Okay, like I said, you could probably get the stovepipe in there, but you also have that, remember the ring that the stovepipe attaches to? Little shoe thing that goes in there, and then the brain cap / spark arrestor, and the guide and the stakes. And that's just a lot of little parts. The damper. So it's about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the 11 rings. Probably about 20, 25 pieces in there, and I don't want to take them out. I'm not going to do it now. Lose one piece, and then you're kind of SOL, as in up a creek without a paddle. Up shit creek without a paddle, whatever. Alright, I forgot a couple things here. These are both probably the least necessary parts of the stove. The stove rack, although you'd love to have that in the wintertime if it's raining or something. So the wood drying rack, stone rack, which you could pour water. I saw somebody just pour water on it and you got an instant sauna or sweat lodge. So pretty cool. But this one here has to go in there like this, flat, so it hangs down over the rest of the stove. That's that one in, and then that one. There we go. So set up and take down in about 8 minutes. I started at 6.5, it's about 14.5 now, so 8 minutes you're going to have to set up and then take them back down if it doesn't have any heat in it. Okay, alright, so just some of my thoughts on that whole thing. I suggest you have a stove. This is a really good, of the titanium ones, I think this is the best one I've seen because of the way the legs work. And the drying rack, I like that. I really like the fact that it has 2 viewports. They're not very big, but they're still there. There's some light and some ambiance, some calming effect of watching the flames dance inside the stove. So the one on the side is even better. Some of them have bigger viewports. I like them, but maybe they can go a bigger one on this next time. This company also has, I saw it, and I don't know if it's how available it is, but they have an oven, a bigger one with an oven at the back, so you can cook a 7-inch pizza. That's pretty cool. Small loaf of bread, some fry bread, some cakes or something, biscuits. That's pretty neat. I like that idea, and it's actually a good oven because the heat goes up around it, above it, and I think both sides of it, so it heats it from 3 different sides. It's got a temperature gauge on the door and everything, so very cool. That would be really awesome. All right, well, yeah, bless everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.